cyberpunks and retro nerds out there. It's Tommy the Hammer. Tonight we've got Tom Selleck, Steve Guttenberg, and Ted Danson on the docket for the 1980s comedy classic, 3 Men and a Baby. This film is directed by Leonard Nimoy, and if that name sounds familiar, it's because he played Spock on the original Star Trek series. I like this sort of thing. Cheesy, feel-good, craptastic 1980s comedies. You know this part, guys. Check out the trailer. Peep that shit when we get back. You guys are gonna know my opinion on 3 Men and a Baby.
Tom Selleck, Steve Guttenberg, Ted Danson.
Jack!
Whew, Angela, whew, boy, you look different. What happened?
I'm dressed.
That's it.
3 incredibly eligible men hoping to meet some incredibly perfect women.
So many women in so little time.
Now, at last, they're about to find that one girl who will sweep them off their feet.
That's a baby.
It's a baby.
Of course it's a baby.
It's your baby.
No, it's not my baby. It's Jack's baby. The child doesn't look anything like me. I have more hair.
Well, I want to see the way you 3 big guys handle this one.
I had to go to 3 different places, buy 4 different kinds of formula, 2 different kinds of diapers, bottles, towels, nipples.
You do realize she did a doodle.
Doodle. Doodle. Yes, doodle. You haven't been able to work or to sleep. And there's been all over this place for days. I build 50-story skyscrapers. I assemble cities of the future. I can certainly put together a diaper. Will somebody please tell me what the hell is going on around here? Figure it out for yourself.
Are they always this strange? Yes, since they got involved with another woman.
Touchstone Pictures presents 3 normally intelligent men and 1 little girl.
So, what do you want to do?
They're about to discover the only thing worse than raising her
Oh, no, please, not on the silk sheets.
is losing her.
We should be her family.
And let me tell you, the first time you get to work, Daddy, I don't care who you are. Your heart just melts.
Can you drive a little faster, please?
Touchstone Pictures presents a comedy about 3 dedicated bachelors and the one woman in the world they couldn't live without.
Good night, sweetheart. Well, it's time to go. Do, 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 do. I hate to leave you, but I really must say, good night, sweetheart. Good night.
3 Men and a Baby.
I think she did a doodle. Your turn to change her. I'll give you $1,000 if you'll do it.
So this might sound a little bit hammy, but what an absolute treat 3 Men and a Baby was to revisit. This here is a perfect snapshot in time for the mid to late 1980s. I feel like all the actors in this movie, you got Tom Selleck, you've got Steve Guttenberg, and you've got Ted Danson. They're excellent, you know, in their roles. They're very likable, they're engaging, and sure, maybe this movie is paint by numbers, and some of the elements are a little bit cliched and over the top in terms of the ridiculousness of it all. You know, during the 1980s, this whole kind of heartwarming comedy thing was pretty much the norm. I mean, there's a ton of movies that came out during that era where, you know, the heartwarming comedy was a big seller at the box office. And I feel like 3 Men and a Baby is much better than Look Who's Talking, which, don't get me wrong, guys, I think that's a good movie too. But this movie is, I don't know, a little bit more realistic and gritty in certain regards. There's a subplot to this movie that involves heroin that's pretty strange. And considering this film is only rated PG, it's quite shocking to have, you know, a drug element, you know, interjected to the overall narrative. So that's a lot of praise for such a hammy comedy from the 1980s. There's going to be some people that watch this movie and be like, what's the fucking big deal, Tom? Why do you think it's all that great? Well, this is definitely something that maybe only I can really appreciate. I mean, I understand that if, you know, younger people that were born in the 90s, they come into this movie and they'd be like, it's cliched, it's stupid, the styles are ugly, there's too much hairspray, blah. Well, that makes sense. I mean, it completely makes sense. But to me, I mean, I was born in '81, and I got to watch that decade progress. So for me, personally speaking, I feel like watching a movie like 3 Men and a Baby is just an absolute treat. On the back of the DVD here, it says 2 thumbs up by Siskel and Ebert. that's pretty freaking cool that those guys gave it such a high review, and I feel like I understand why. A movie such as this, where it's just feel-good comedy, it makes sense. You just kind of go with it. So let's not take too deep of a dive on a movie called 3 Men and a Baby. We don't need to do that, guys. Let's get right to the star count. Out of 10 stars, I think I could give the 1987 comedy classic 3 Men and a Baby a solid 7 out of 10.